We are the will.
We are you.
We are hackers in your service. Please note that this information was obtained at great risk. You view this material at your own risk. Ever vigilant.
The information contained within this report is confidential. The following report may contain unsettling images and content. During the stock market crash of 1929, John Hoskins committed suicide after realizing he was financially ruined. He jumped to his death, leaving behind a wife, Ashley Hoskins. However, shortly after his death, John's investments were among the few to recover, and Ashley soon became a very wealthy widow. This was little comfort to Ashley, who had married for love and was devastated by the loss of half her soul. Instead of using her vast wealth to help the poor affected by the Great Depression, Ashley traveled the world seeking to find a way to communicate with her dead husband. Her travels took her all over the globe, from the castles of Europe to the jungles of South America. But no matter where Ashley looked, she found nothing but staged seances and tricksters. Despondent, Ashley followed one final lead. In Spain, she was set to meet with a furniture maker who was known for an unhealthy interest in the occult. When she arrived, the shop was closed up and black curtains were tacked to the windows. The owner had died of starvation and his assets were set to be auctioned off the next day. She was too late to meet the furniture maker, but she resolved to attend the auction in hope that something had been left behind. On the day of the auction, the shopkeeper's wares were set up in a warehouse. Most of the furniture was macabre in design, a sofa adorned with skulls, a coffee table supported by carved bones, but ultimately all mundane. Each new piece whittled away at Ashley's hopes until she caught sight of one object, a mirror covered in a red velvet drape. As she moved to remove the drape, she was stopped by the shopkeeper's brother. This particular item, he said, was cursed and not meant to be displayed. Allegedly, the mirror was made with the ground-up bones of an Egyptian mummy, rumored to have been the powerful priest of the god Anubis, the god of death. His brother was obsessed with the afterlife and was always looking for a doorway to the other side. After the mirror was made, the shopkeeper would stare into it for hours, never allowing others to look. He was found dead next to it. Whatever he saw made him go insane. As the mirror was moved outside to be carried off and destroyed, Ashley bribed the workers to sell it to her. They demanded a large sum, almost all the money she had with her. She had it shipped back to New York. Once Ashley had the mirror back at her house, she began to stare into it, hoping to see something, anything. As the days passed, nothing happened. Soon she started to feel that she had been deceived. On the anniversary of John's death, she took out his wedding ring and placed it on her finger. Suddenly, she heard knocking coming from the mirror. With fear and trepidation, she pulled back the cover. She saw a reflection of the room and herself. Something moved behind her. Turning away, she saw that the room was empty. Then, the knocking started again. She turned to look at the mirror. This time she saw the same reflection of her in her room, but her husband's ghostly apparition stood next to her now. She turned to embrace him, but there was nothing in the room. He tried to talk to her, but she couldn't hear. They both banged on the mirror, trying to reach for each other, trying to talk, but the barrier would not break. Ashley covered up the mirror and cried for days. The knocking grew insistent. Months passed and the knocking continued. Ashley considered the possibility that she had cursed her husband's soul into the mirror. What would she do if he was now stuck there and unable to move on? She decided to destroy it. Taking a chair, she approached the covered mirror and heard her husband's voice. She was devastated to hear his voice again. He begged her not to leave him alone again, that he was trapped there, with nothing and no one else. Relieved to see her husband again, but devastated by the fate she had bound him to, Ashley soon began to lose track of time, spending hours with the mirror. She would forget to bathe and eat. The mirror was like a drug she could not give up. It was almost like she was in service to it. The horror of her situation began to dawn on her. A religious woman, she called her priest for help. Upon seeing her frightened state, he insisted she leave with him immediately. She did, but her need for the mirror only grew. With no choice, Ashley was institutionalized. The priest decided to destroy the mirror once and for all. After several unsuccessful attempts to shatter it, the priest caught a glimpse of the mirror. He saw flashes of heaven and hell, of people he knew, suffering wildly. They begged him for help. Unable to destroy it, he ran. Church authorities reached out to the CFI. CFI took possession of the mirror on April 6, 1937. The mirror was placed in an artillery field and destroyed at distance. Ashley Hoskins regained her sanity immediately after the demise of the mirror. She later remarried and lived an average life by all reports. CFI has learned of a second mirror in existence in Spain. CFI would like authorization to travel to Spain to determine if the artifact is authentic. Case number 1498, Agent Pi, author.